Hey, how are you guys? This is Saeed once again. So, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys know what this little thing is here, right? So, 2019 GTI Rabbit. Now, I would absolutely drive this color. It is something that we haven't seen from Volkswagen in a while. If you want to be really specific, back then the Rabbits in the 80s did have this color. I don't think it was a shiny, but they did have something similar, right? And they haven't had something like this since maybe the Fahrenheit edition Mark IVs. I want to say maybe Mark V Jettas, right? And GTIs perhaps. I'm not really sure off the top of my head, but excuse me, this is a really cool color. I mean, as you can see, same thing even with regular, Beetles and stuff like that. They haven't, or we haven't had this color like this, other than the newer, white, silver, the pure gray like the GLI, etc., etc. Now, I want to start by saying that this right here, right? I recently traded my GTI. I had a 17 Sport. So I want to start by saying that this here reminds me of my GTI Sport, right? A couple of reasons why. The price point, right? The way it's equipped, and of course the newer looks. You have the now newer headlights, a little bit more slick looking, different bumpers. I cannot remember if they did touch up the hood a little bit, but even the rear, they actually touched up the newer, now bigger exhaust tips, right? And I think it's just a little bit different bumper and a different diffuser there, but it's well put together. Now, same thing, right? GTI, 6-year warranty, just like the newer Volkswagen, 72,000 miles. This one, 228 horsepower, just like newer GTIs, 258 torque, same torque that they've had since 2015 when they went to the MQB platform, which this sits on as well. I do want to touch by saying that that right there is what the Golf R wheels were. Of course, these are 18s instead of the 19s. And still, we get the bigger brakes, right? And, well, the rear one is fine, but they're vented disc brakes. And you still have the VAQ. So, once again, almost like a limited slip diff. You can do easier turns, do a burnout with both wheels. Now, Rabbit Edition, right? We haven't had a Rabbit Edition since, once again, the Mark Vs. So 03 for Europe, 05 and up for the US and everywhere else, if I'm not mistaken. Now, pros and cons, right? Let me talk about this. Pros and cons. I'm a little bit disappointed. If you guys remember, if you've never seen one, once again, pause the video, look up MK5 or Mark V GTIs, and they're gonna have the nice little iconic Rabbit. Volkswagen, you're missing that, right? You're missing that. Let me know that this is a Rabbit. You know what I'm saying? Not sure if, once again, we're here in the US, not sure if overseas, Mexico, Canada, Europe, wherever, they have the logo or some sort of logo that states it's a Rabbit. Now you can actually tell by the color, which this one, the cornflower blue, or the other, which is the, oh gosh, now I'm blanking here. It's almost similar to the pure gray. Gosh, see, now I'm blanking at the top of my head. But this is what happens when you're live, right? Just, off the top of your head. Now keep in mind, let me show you this right here. Now, I want to say that we just happen to have this here, right? Check this out. Come on, Volkswagen. You could have had something like that. Subtle, right? Something that tells me this is a Rabbit. For the people that don't know, or not car guys, or they just care less, it might be a regular Golf, yes. For the enthusiasts, it's a Rabbit. We know that by the two different colors. wheels, etc., etc. Now, let me get in here, right? So you do get with the Rabbit spoiler or the little extra lip that gives it a little bit more look. In my opinion, they would have done something a little bit more differently, a little bit bigger, but oh well, right? Now check this out here, right? When you come in, GTI everything, right? Everything is the same. Now, just like the GLI, that'll show you the 35th, you do have that there, which is pretty cool, really awesome. You know, it'll space it apart from the regular GTIs. Now, other than that, that's it. No Rabbit, nothing. You know it's a Rabbit because you own the car, you bought it, and you know, other than that, if you're an enthusiast, you know the colors, etc., etc. Now, where I want to start by saying is, all right, I love the fact that it's painted all the way throughout. We'll open the hood in a little bit, but I mean, it's just, for me, it's like, wow, this actually is, you know, painted all the way through. I mean, like it should. It's just not saying it should be wrapped or anything like that, but just, it's actually kind of cool to see. Now, let me show you this. So they did the honeycomb kind of look to it. If I'm not mistaken, it's kind of like a style back to the Mark 6. So the 6th generation GTIs, they had this style, right? So because my Mark 7, this is 7.5 now, so you know this one looked a little bit more carbon fiber ish look to it, right? So what I want to start by saying is it is well packaged. Like I said, this right here, if I'm not mistaken, is the same package as my Sport used to be, right? Where you have the keyless entry, push to start, right? Of course, you still have the backup camera and all that, which is standard, but kind of few upgrades, and in some parts, my opinion, they kind of downgraded it just a little bit. This is where, and I'll put the window up right quick, this is where I want to say, because they did change this a little bit around. Now, my Sport did not have the blind spot monitor, rear traffic alert, and the front assist, right? It was pretty loaded, but it did not have that stuff, which I could care less, but I wouldn't mind having back then, right? And we're just talking about from mine was a 17, of course this is a 19, but even from the 17 to the 18s, you know, that was a major change. Now, other than that, you still have the nice flat bottom steering wheel, GTI logo, all that good stuff, right? Multifunction display. So this is something where I had the same size screen, right? 6.5 inch screen here, but I did notice, see, nothing happens. Everything. Now, mine had the infrared sensors to where whenever you got close, and watch, I'm not going to touch it, nothing happens. When you got close, it brought the menus up, which little things like that, but you know, I love that thing. It made the screen look nice and smooth when you were not listening to anything. Now, watch this. AM and FM, that's it. That's it, no satellite. So, like I said, it's kind of like a love-hate relation with this trim, right? Or at least for this year. I understand that we gained the blind spot and basically the driver's assist, right? Blind spot, rear traffic, for collision monitoring, right? Autonomous braking. But you took away, I mean, some people do like the Sirius XM and stuff like that. Granted, you still have, right, the USB, so you can plug it through the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, or you can just play it through Bluetooth, right? If you have Pandora, iHeartRadio, Sirius XM, right, stuff like that. Another thing that looks like we're missing here, no more CD player. Some people are like, wow, you still have CD players in your Volkswagens. Well, excuse me, yes we do, or we at least for the GTI Rabbit we did, right, on the sports, but now not anymore, which once again, it was one of those little things where I actually had, it was, even though it was a one CD I still have one of those, you know, in there, which I play every so often, which was pretty cool, right? Because now everything is Bluetooth, YouTube, whatever. All right. Now, other than that, right, I'm gonna go back up here. We still have the 15 presets for your radio stations, right? So I'm gonna go up here. We go to media. So click source. So you're still gonna have a SD card, a USB, which is down here, and auxiliary. It's gone. The auxiliary, it's gone in this, so it's also missing. Once again, everything is through Bluetooth, unless you have some old school either iPhone or iTouch or iPad or any kind of media device that you played your music on. You know, I still have some clients that, hey, do you have auxiliary or something like that? Because I still have like some old school, some sort of, you know, media platform that they still just have music on. All right. Now you still have Bluetooth, which you can just do everything and anything with that. Now, when I go to a car, all right. So I do want to say we still have the piano black, right, which is nice and neat all the way throughout. But now check this out. So when we go to a car, we only have 5 menus or 5 screens. So I want to say that this, you know, and actually let me start from here. This is your main one here. So a cool part is, I don't think I had this on mine, where now you have the different driver profiles, where if you or your wife or whoever else is in your household or that might drive this car is not gonna mess up with your settings, right? I mean, they actually, some other people actually did drive my car, so they did mess with my settings. So this is a cool part. Now, this right here, you still have the tire set or reset your tire for if in case it's low, or you know, you actually had a flat or something like that. So now I'm gonna keep pressing car. So energy consumers, we still have that, you know, where it'll show you what's burning, a quarter of gas per hour. So a quarter of a gallon of gas per hour. There we go. I'm sorry. So press car one more time. We go to the other main screen that I'd like to say that this right here is the same thing that you have up here, right? If I cycle up or down, so that's my digital miles an hour, average speed, distance, travel time till empty, average economy, instant economy, oil temperature, and back to speed. Now, you do have that literally right here, except for the speed. So miles you've driven, well, this is extended period. So you have 3, and I'll go through those. So since you started the car, how long it's been running, average miles per hour, and average miles per gallon. Of course, the car has just been sitting here, right? I've had it running, so it's just averaging whatever. Now, once you start driving, it'll, you know, go back up, 32, 34, whatever. Or if you're actually getting on it, 25 to like 27, right? So since extended period, once again, or since you refuel, which if some people out there do like to keep track of how many miles per tank their car is actually doing. So I use that. Once again, I live an hour and a half away from here from work. So back then on my GTI, I think I was averaging somewhere from 330 miles to, I think the highest I ever saw was like 300 and, gosh, I want to say maybe 350, 352 or something like that. I have a heavy foot. Well, you know, I don't dog my cars, but I do like to drive quick. You know, North Carolina drivers, you know, they tend to stick to the left lane a lot, so and drive slow. But anyways, right? So and then so this is your third screen, or you know, fourth screen. Now actually the third one. So Think Blue Trainer will show you in easier terms, in my own opinion, how to save gas. These are tips, you know, like, hey, you know, think ahead, put it in neutral if you have a stick shift car. This one is the 7-speed DSG, right? But driving the highest gear. Once again, if you're coming to a stop, just put it in neutral or coast, etc., etc., right? So, and then we go to where the last one would be. So if you notice, we're missing one, if I'm not mistaken, because it brought us back to the main menu. We're missing the performance monitors. So on the other GTIs, and I'm pretty sure this is the Rabbit, so the SE and the Autobahn might have it, if I'm not mistaken. On my Sport, right, or on the previous GTIs, even the S's, right, even the S's had the performance monitors, which, once again, is the little things that might not matter to some people, but, you know, to some other people, it might. So you actually had a couple different gauges, like your oil temperature, water temperature, the G's of force, where, you know, if in case you lose track your car and stuff like that, your PSI or bar, right, for Europe, and the kilowatts. And I might be missing one as well, but the kilowatts as well. So that's something that, I mean, even if you're just cruising, I always had mine on that. So, you know, I mean, it's some gauges that were with the car. Now it's missing in this car. Once again, it's like pros and cons, right? I mean, I love this car. I drive it. Reminds me of my GTI. Of course, now mine was the 6-speed DSG, because we didn't have any, or at the time when I bought it, there were no manuals available. So, but I love the DSG is really quick. And now this with the 7. So we're missing some stuff, right? But then again, we're gaining some stuff. Like I said, I mean, we now have the driver assist, you know, package, or, you know, which it's normal blind spot, for collision warning, rear traffic alert, right? So no satellites, no, you know, no gauges, right? But then again, you still, now mine was a 17, so it had the previous Volkswagen warranty. So this one now has a 6-year 72,000 mile warranty, which for me, or, you know, if you don't drive a lot, it's awesome, because you'll run down the years on your warranty. If you drive a ton, you'll run down the miles. So, but, you know, now at 1 year, I was driving 18,000 miles, and I still am, kind of. So, you know, that's something that even if you're in a lease, you didn't have to, you know, mine was a GTI lease, so I had to purchase the extra miles for the years, just because I was going to drive a ton and at least it for 4 years. Now, even if you jump into a 4-year lease at 15,000 miles, you're basically going to be covered the whole time, which is something that I really like. But once again, some people could care less about that. Some people actually, you know, they need that stuff. So, but yeah, so other than that, up here, I want to say that they actually kept everything LED, which I'm glad they did, because usually that's something that I would change on my cars. There you go. So my side, your side, rear, and then automatic or non-auto. So we still have this up here, so everything's normal, right? This one has the plaid seats, or clack plate, you know, however you like to call it. All weather mats, and I'll go to the trunk right quick. All weather mats and whatnot. This one does happen to have, if we go to mode, right, which is something else that I like to touch base on. If you go to mode, back then you only had 3 with, you know, the lower 2 trims. So you had normal, sport, and custom. Now they've added eco mode. So I mean, it's nice to have. I wish I would have had that on mine, just because I sit in traffic a lot most of the time, which you know, I rarely or you know, never tracked my car, but I did took it, you know, track as in you know, speed course or whatever. I actually took it to the what is it called, quarter miles, right? But I never tracked it. But for the most time, I mean, you're you know, you're not out there 24/7. I mean, you'd like something to help save gas even more, right? So now, and let me run through them. Mine did not have this cool little, and that's, like I said, the little thing is what, you know, gets you excited. So mine did not have the, you know, like you see the picture of a car. This is normal. This is sport, you know, and the picture would change, and then custom, where you can adjust anything and everything, right, on there. So as you can see, I'm just keep touching this and it'll change, or you can actually touch them and do it like so. Now I do want to say that this right here, right, the auto start, auto stop, this car is equipped with it. The manual GTIs are not, but the DSG versions are. So it's something where some people say or claim that they hate it. In my opinion, in my own experience, I don't mind it. I like it. Once again, I sit in traffic a lot. When you come to a stop or you're a stoplight, a long stoplight, or just standstill traffic, the engine will shut off, save gas. I do not mind saving gas. So granted, it takes regular gas. I used to put premium in mine. I tuned mine, so it required premium only, right? So it's something that now we've gained on the 19s, and hopefully they carry it throughout the 20s and stuff like that. So, but it's the little things, like I said, same thing. This right here, the traction control, you can turn it off, right? And I activated it back on. So now you can turn it off, hold it, 3, 2, 1, and boom. And over here, and see that? So if you turn it off, like I said, this is the easiest way of doing a burnout or heating up your tires if if you're taking it to the track and stuff like that. So, and all you do that is by just holding this and for like 5 seconds, and it'll put it in that where it will turn that off. Now the cool part is you can launch this once, right? Press brake, and I'll just kind of show you. I'm not gonna do it because we're in a freaking parking lot, but so all you would do is put it in sport mode, right? You can kind of hear it. So it revved up the car. So let me see that again. Whoa, look at that. I'm not even pressing the gas. Watch. Ready? I'll put it in sport. See that? See the difference? So so if you don't know how to launch the GTI, or your GTI, all you do is sport mode at the track, of course, right? Sport mode, and it'll throw everything in sport, right? Sport over here, sport up there. So you can see traction control off. All you would do is that, hold the brake down, rev it off, and I'm not gonna do it. See that? And hold on, let me see. See that? Now, let me put it in neutral. So that's how you do it, and you saw it come on because it knows that you're gonna launch it. So once again, sport mode, traction control off for 5 seconds, turn everything off. You'll see it come up here and up here. It'll turn off the front assist as well, and hold the brake, press the gas, and then for like 3 seconds, and then let go of the brake, and you'll hear the tires chirp a little bit. I'm telling you, because on my GTI it would do that, and it would just buck and go. It would just quad and go. For being a front wheel drive car, it was actually pretty cool that that's available. So, and to turn everything back on, right? And I'm just gonna turn that on, press that. I just press the traction control. Let me see if I can get a wide angle view here. There you go. So let me do it again, right? So I'm gonna hold it down 5 seconds, and there. So now to put everything back to normal, of course, if you turn the car off, it'll do it, but right here, back to normal, and there you go. And then of course you can always just kind of throw it back in normal, and then boom. So kind of cool stuff. If I'm pretty sure there's a ton of videos out there. Me being a gearhead or a car guy, it's like I gotta read up and look up how to do this and that. I mean, it's the little stuff. Same thing, even if you go through the menus, I mean, you cannot mess anything up. It's your car, you own it. I mean, you can go click this, what does that do? Click that, oh, I see a menu under a menu. Okay, there's a setup. Okay, let's go in here. Oh, okay. I mean, worst comes to worst, you can always go back to factory settings and reset all, or reset whatever you messed up. Boom. So now, right, that's that. So you still have the phone, App Connect, which is still here, setup. Now, if you notice, it's not letting me scroll. I mean, now you have to do it like this. Once again, it's not bothersome, but I mean, you could just do it by scrolling, right? So I mean, I'm not talking bad. I mean, it's just, of course, they're kind of doing trial and error, if I'm not mistaken, just to see the way they package these things. But yeah, let's go out here right quick, right? So still have plenty of space. You still have the vents, which I really like. Now this one does have the bumper dealer that they call it, which is pretty cool. Mine did not have it, but I did carry a lot of stuff back and forth, so that would have been nice to have, but you know, it was in there. Now all-weather mats, as you can see, the other ones were in there. This one has the Mojo mats, if they haven't changed the name. So it's like the cloth with the nice red stripe on there, or red stitch. Cargo net. You do have a 12 bolt. You can still have a pass-through or anchors or tethers if you have kids. You can still take this out if you need space. Now the cool part is, check this out. You still have a spare tire. Golf R's are not, if I'm not mistaken. They just have that fix-a-flat stuff, but it's there. Now I did notice that. You see that? That's like some sort of insulation that are now coming with these cars. If I'm not mistaken, mine did not have that, so it'll help a lot for the sound and stuff. So, but there we have it. Let me know what you think. They did an awesome job with this, in my opinion. Like I said, we're missing a little bit of stuff here and there. I do not mind it. It would have been cool if this said GTI or GTI and the little rabbit logo. Same thing up here. But I mean, I'd still drive this, especially in this color. Especially in this color. So it's pretty nice. Oh, and you know, earlier I could not remember the name of the other color, Urano gray. So it's actually, we had two in stock, if I'm not mistaken, when they first came out, and they just flew out of the shelves. This one is actually already sold. You see a little yellow sticker there. This one's been purchased. So I just wanted to do a quick video before it left us. So once again, let me know what you think. If they would have changed some stuff, I mean, talk to me. What do you think? What would you wish it had? Some people still, and I'm not a sunroof guy, but if it had it, I would not mind it, right? So let me know what you think. I mean, these things are awesome. Not sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Well, then again, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a limited run for these cars, right? So it's just a matter of how many units they're gonna make, especially for the US. This one is the second Cornflower Blue we've had as well. Since this is gone, as far as GTI Rabbits, that's it. We don't have any more. So they've been pretty good sellers. Same thing with the GLIs. I think we got a couple of Autobahn GLIs. I was reading some of the comments, so I really appreciate that. I'm gonna do a pros and cons kind of video as well for the GLI Autobahn, or just the GLI period, because once again, I mean, just like this one, let me go up here. See that? Those are actual fog lights. That's another thing that my Sport did not have. So they're playing a little bit of take away and give with, you know, but it's you know, it's to be expected. So before we go here, let me just show you. You're gonna be like, wow, it's a GLI. No, I'm just kidding. So nice and shiny. This is what I was talking about. It's so cool to see that it's actually painted in here, up here. It's not like just primer or something like that, like some other manufacturers do. But yeah, and same thing, GTI, everything, EA AAA engine, awesome. So once again, thank you guys. Let me know what you think. Please give us a thumbs up if you like the video. Share. Like I said, I love to hear your comments. See what you think about this. Could they've done a little bit better? Could they've taken away some more stuff? You tell me. All right, thank you guys. Peace.